Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Goku married with Caulifla part 1. Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video and also share this video with your friends. I have created my other videos playlist, there you can watch my all videos easily, check out as well. Let's start this video. It's been about a month since the Tournament of Power. Goku and Vegeta were sparring in the canyon they fought in for the first time. They had just grappled each other while in Super Saiyan Blue. Hey, Vegeta. What is it, Kakarot? You complained that I wasn't able to use Ultra Instinct after the tournament, but what about you? You were able to use an awesome version of Blue, so why can't you use it now? The two then started exchanging blows at the usual fighting speed. Oh, be quiet. Don't you think I've been trying to obtain that form? Ha. Then it looks like we both need to do more training to obtain our new powers. To get even stronger. What do you think we're doing now, you fool? The two then punched each other in the face hard enough to send the other reeling. They both landed on top of the plateau. They both smiled as they got into their fighting poses, both having a blast. My, you two seem to be enjoying yourselves. They both looked up while powering down to their base forms. Oh, Goku yelled out. Vados. What are you Hey. Isn't that Caulifla? The female Saiyan waved. Yo. Been a while, old man, pops. Even Kale and Kaba are here. Kaba bowed. It's a pleasure to see you once more, master. HMPH, Vegeta responded while looking away with his arms crossed. Kale looked as nervous as ever. I haven't seen any of you guys since the Tournament of Power. So, what are you guys doing here? Goku asked. Yes. What reason do you have for coming here and interrupting my fight with Kakarot? I'm just gonna cut to the chase, Caulifla said as she flew down to Goku. Kale, and have been training to reach Super Saiyan 3 ever since the tournament, but we haven't gotten any closer, and this wimp isn't being anywhere near useful enough to help us reach it. Caulifla said while pointing her thumb to a hurt-looking Kaba. So, the only idea I could come up with is to see the guy who showed me the form to begin with. So, I had Kaba fly me and Kale to the edge of the universe to find Lord Champa's planet. Hell of a ride, I tell ya. Anyway, we reached it, found Vados, and asked her to take us to you. In exchange for the chance to eat the delicacies of your earth that my brother keeps harping about. Yeah. That. Anyway, I want you to train me, Son Goku, Caulifla said while pointing at Goku. Okay. Sure. Whoa. That was fast, Caulifla said with wide and surprised eyes. Why not? You've already proven to me that you're an awesome fighter and fast learner. But I have to know, did you master Super Saiyan 2? Caulifla scoffed before she immediately turned to Super Saiyan 2. You tell me. Alright. Goku then turned Super Saiyan 2 himself. Then you'll be able to reach Super Saiyan 3 in no time. That's what I wanted to hear. Kale. Get down here. Learn to go 3 with me. Yes, sis, Kale said as she flew down. Wait, you want me to train Kale too? Caulifla looked at Goku. That a problem? Well kinda. Goku looked at Kale, who jumped at his gaze. Kale already has an incredible amount of power. She might be stronger than a Super Saiyan 3 as she is. In my opinion, she needs to learn how to master her powers first before even attempting Super Saiyan 3. Kale can control her powers. Don't you remember the tournament? Goku looked at Caulifla for a bit before turning to Kale. Could you turn Super Saiyan for me? Was Kale's response. Turn Super Saiyan, please. Come on, Kale. She looked at Caulifla. Show this old guy how great you are so he can teach you to go Super Saiyan 3 with me. Yes. Kale then began to concentrate. Then, she gave up. I'm sorry, sis. Man. You were able to do it easily during the tournament. You haven't been able to do it since. Maybe she has too much anxiety or something, Goku said. Clouded mind or something. I'm not the best guy who can help with that, and neither is Vegeta. Watch yourself, Kakarot. I don't know anyone who can really help. Wait. I do know someone. Piccolo. The green guy, Caulifla asked. Sis, he's an Namekian, like Purina and Sanel. Oh. Right. Wonder how those guys are doing. Oh, whatever. So, what does this Piccolo guy have to do with anything? He can train Kale. He's way better at control than I am. He is the man who trained my son Gohan, after all. Caulifla raised an eyebrow. You didn't train your own kid. Well, I would have, but I was kinda dead at the time. You were what? It doesn't matter. It's not important right now. What is important is that we get to Piccolo. Oh. I almost forgot about Kaba. You're training with Vegeta, right? It would be my honor to train with Master, Kaba said while standing up straight like the soldier he was. Very well, boy. Come. We will train at my home. You had better keep up, lest you want to be nothing more than my punching bag. Yes, sir. And Kakarot. Goku looked at to see his rival give him a challenging smirk. Let us see which of us trains the better warrior. Goku smirked as he pointed a fist at his friend and rival. You're on. With that, Vegeta took off at sonic speeds, surprising Cabba. Wait, master. He flew after Vegeta at an impressive speed, but Goku could tell he would have trouble keeping up with the superior Vegeta. Now then Goku held out his hand as he placed his fingers on his head. Grab on. Was Caulifla's response. Come on. Caulifla and Kale looked at each other before Caulifla shrugged her shoulders. The girls then grabbed Goku's hand. Goku then looked at Beidous. See you later. Hope you have fun on Earth. Beidous giggled. Thank you. Caulifla, Kale, I wish you luck on your training. Caulifla looked at Beidous with a smirk. Ha. Like I need luck. After Caulifla said that, Beidous disappeared. In her place was a house. Caulifla blinked in surprise. That wasn't there before, Caulifla said. Nope. I used instant transmission to take us to Gohan's house. Thought it would be easier and faster. Instant what now? Don't you remember? I used it against you in the tournament. That's what you used to fight me. I thought you were just moving seriously fast, like that weird after image move of yours. I kinda wanna learn it. Instant transmission or after image? Both. Sure. We can do that. But first Goku used instant transmission again. Hey, Piccolo. Whoa. When Piccolo yelled out in surprise, Pan started to cry from being startled. Damn it, Goku. I just got her to sleep. Oops. Sorry. Hey. Who's the kid? Caulifla asked. Oh, she's my granddaughter. Caulifla looked at Goku. You're a grandpa? Guess you really are an old man. Goku chuckled as he rubbed the back of his head. So, why's this Piccolo guy looking after her instead of you? Oh, Gohan and Videl ask him to babysit whenever they want to go out together. He's an awesome babysitter. He changes her diapers and everything. He even makes baby food for her. Definitely the perfect babysitter. Caulifla stared at Goku for a bit. What? Do you want Kale to be trained by a glorified nanny? Watch it, you little brat, Piccolo said with a glare as he stepped away from the still crying Pan. Oh? What you gonna do about it, mama? Caulifla said with a challenging smirk. Piccolo growled before turning to Goku. Goku, what's going on? Why is she and her little friend here? Oh, right. They came to train with us, but I don't think I'm the right guy to train Kale. She's already got plenty of power, but she still needs to learn how to control it, you know. I couldn't think of anyone better to help her with that than you. You did train Gohan. Be that as it may, I'm a bit busy at the Piccolo, then realized something. He didn't hear Pan crying anymore. He turned to see Kale rocking the baby while singing a soft lullaby. There. That's a good girl. Hush now. It's time for your nap. Pan yawned in Kale's arms, making the Saiyan giggle. See? You're sleepy. Time for bed. She then tucked the baby in. Night. Kale lightly petted the sleeping baby as she slept, smiling at the adorable face. She then realized she was being watched and looked to see two Saiyans and Namekian look at her with wide eyes. She blushed in embarrassment. I'm so sorry, she said as she waved her hands. She was just so cute. I couldn't help it. Piccolo smirked. Alright. I'll train her. Kale said. Really? Goku said in excitement. Keep your voice down, Goku, Piccolo said in annoyance. Oh, sorry. Anyway, as long as she helps me with Pan, I don't mind training her. Alright. That just leaves me and Caulifla, and I know the perfect place, he said as he placed a hand on Caulifla's shoulder. Later, Piccolo. Caulifla looked at Goku's hand before looking up at Goku. You're still gonna teach me? The two were then transported. Piccolo and Kale looked at the spot Goku and Caulifla were at before turning back towards Pan. We'll start your training after we're sure Pan is asleep. We'll begin with meditation. No point in training the body if the mind is not strong. Oh. I see. She and Piccolo sat down in front of Pan's crib. Kale looked at the sleeping baby and blushed. So, her name is Pan. When Goku transported the two to their training grounds, Caulifla felt a weight. Whoa. Why do I feel so heavy? It's the planet. We're on King Kai's planet. King Kai? Who's King Kai? That would be me. Caulifla looked behind her to see the man himself. King Kai is one of my teachers. He taught me some awesome moves like the Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb. What? The Kaioken? It was my first transformation. In a way, it was like a precursor to Super Saiyan itself. You could say it started it all. It's a fighting technique that multiplies the Kai in your body for a heartbeat, increasing your strength and speed to inflict serious damage on opponents stronger than you. The only downside is that it takes a heavy toll on the body, leaving you vulnerable to enemy attacks. It's pretty much a double-edged sword. Sounds kinda cool, but I don't need it. I've got Super Saiyan. Actually, I think it'd be good for you to learn it. Huh? Super Saiyan Blue is all about calm Kai control. Kaioken is also a technique that needs Kai control to use. So, it's a good technique to practice a necessary part of Blue. Plus, there's a huge payoff. What? Goku grinned. I call it Blue Kaioken. Huh? Let me show you. Goku turned blue before yelling. Then, Kaioken. The Kaioken aura exploded from his body. Whoa, Caulifla shouted as she shielded her eyes from the pressure. When the air pressure was gone, she was amazed by what she saw. So much power. Goku chuckled. See? If you let me teach you Kaioken, this form could be yours once you reach blue. But I should warn you, it's very dangerous to try if you're a novice. With the amount of energy blue gives you, if you mess up even a tiny bit, you could have shredded your entire body. The two looked at a fuming King Kai. Are you insane, Goku? Do you realize how risky that was? Goku powered down. Oh, come on, King Kai. I've mastered it kinda. I still don't know how high I can take Blue Kaioken. So far, I can go up to 10. But I'm sure I can go higher. 10? You went up to oh, forget it. Look who I'm talking to. You've always done things your own way, Goku. Yeah. That wasn't much of a compliment. Anyway, I'm guessing you brought this little cutie to hear my jokes. Caulifla's eyebrow twitched. What did he just say? Actually, I came here to train her. Is it alright if we borrow Bubbles and Gregory? I want to put her through the same training you put me through. I'm planning on teaching her Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb. King Kai clasped his blushing cheeks. You're spreading my precious techniques, oh, how glorious. I feel like a proud grandpappy watching his son teach his kids what for. Go for it, Goku. Make me proud. You can borrow Bubbles and Gregory. Thanks. Wait, Caulifla said. Who's Bubbles? He's that monkey. Caulifla looked to see Bubbles dancing around. How did I not notice him? He was probably napping in the tree. Anyway, catch him. Huh? Just try it. Caulifla looked at Goku for a bit before sighing and shrugging her shoulders. Whatever. Come here, you little fleabag. Caulifla then walked over to Bubbles. Bubbles noticed her and started dancing the opposite direction. I said come here. Bubbles then began to run. Hey. Get back here, damn it. She started to chase the quick Bubbles. You ain't getting away from me. Or. Goku was watching Caulifla with a smile while sitting down. King Kai joined him with some drinks. She's been at this for nearly an hour. And she doesn't look tired in the least. It's like the gravity isn't bothering her at all. I dare say she has more talent than even you, Goku. After all, it took you 3 weeks to catch Bubbles. Oh, I remember. Wonder how long it'll take Caulifla. They got their answer. As Bubbles got trapped between Caulifla and King Kai's house, Caulifla saw it as a chance to capture the monkey. When she was about to make the grab, Bubbles jumped on her head and prepared to jump off from making Caulifla stumble. He succeeded in making her lose her footing for about a second. Caulifla was about to fall to the ground, but instead slammed her hand into it and spun around towards Bubbles. She then lunged herself towards the still airborne monkey and caught him. She stood up, looking right into the monkey's eyes as he made his adorable monkey sounds. Caulifla gave a giant grin before lifting the monkey high in the air as Bubbles gave a peace sign. Alright. I caught him. Bubbles cheered in his own way. Goku and King Kai were shocked. Whoa. You caught him in an hour. You really are awesome, Caulifla. Heh. Damn right, I am. So, now what? Oh, right. King Kai. Right. King Kai then made a mallet appear. He then threw it to Goku, who easily caught it. Goku tossed and caught the mallet repeatedly. It feels heavier than what I remember. Of course. This girl is obviously much stronger than you were when you came to be trained by me. Of course, I'd make it a bit tougher for her. Can't let it be too easy, can I? Goku laughed. Nope. That wouldn't be any fun. He then turned towards the beauty. Here you go, he said as he tossed the mallet to her. Caulifla caught the mallet with one hand but almost fell when she did. Whoa. This thing's got some weight to it. What am I using it for? Goku grinned as he looked at King Kai. The king nodded before turning towards his house. Gregory, he called out. The ball of light flew out of the house and stopped right in front of the group. The light popped, revealing Gregory. You called. Caulifla raised an eyebrow. A cockroach. How rude. I'm a grasshopper. Okay. So, what's up with him? See that mallet you're holding? Goku asked. Caulifla just tossed it in the air and caught it without looking. You're gonna smack Gregory with it. This again. Gregory felt a chill as he slowly turned towards the only female on the planet. He jumped in fear when he saw her smile and the gleam in her eyes. My kind of training. Caulifla then jumped towards Gregory with the mallet over her head. Gregory then sped away like a bullet. Get back here, Caulifla yelled as she chased after the insect. 2 hours later. Aya. Someone help me already. Just let me smack you. Goku was laughing at the sight, enjoying what he was watching. This is even better than when she chased Bubbles. It almost seems like the gravity isn't affecting her at all. She's quite persistent. Oh, you have no idea. She just kept coming after me in the tournament. The two looked just in time to see Caulifla stop on her tracks and got into what seemed like a batting position. She waited for a bit before reeling back the mallet. Goku and King Kai heard screaming and looked towards the direction. They saw Gregory flying right at Caulifla, trying desperately to stop before getting too close. Too bad. Caulifla swung the mallet with all her strength. She landed her swing right onto Gregory's entire body. After a few seconds, she sent Gregory shooting down Snake Way. He actually twinkled. Oh, yeah, Caulifla cheered as she helps the mallet up high. How do you like that, cockroach? Whoa. That was awesome, Caulifla. Looks like Lord Champa should have had you on his team during that baseball game we had. Caulifla looked at Goku with wide and confused eyes as she rested the mallet on her shoulder. The hell is baseball? Some kind of weird sport. My friend, Yamcha, is supposed to be a pro at it. Anyway, let's get on to teaching you Kaioken. Caulifla smiled as she threw away the mallet. You won't hear any complaints from me. Actually, Goku the two Saiyans looked to see King Kai at the other side of his small planet, looking down. It seems you need to return to Earth. Your son is looking for you. You mean Goten? Yup. The boy is saying something about dinner. Ah. Is it that late already, Caulifla? Grab on. What about training? We'll continue tomorrow. It's time to eat now. Caulifla was quiet for a bit before she sighed. Usually, I wouldn't argue against a meal, but I was actually looking forward to training here. I know. Don't worry. Like I said, we'll continue tomorrow. Come on. You get to try Chi-Chi's cooking. I promise it's delicious. Caulifla sighed. Alright. She then grabbed Goku's hand. But you're gonna at least teach me this move, Tomo Goku, and Caulifla disappeared from King Kai's planet. Goten was walking around. Dad, he yelled out with his hands cupped. Where are you? Mom says to come home for dinner. Bro. Goten looked behind him to see his dad holding a pretty lady's hand. The lady then looked right at Goten, blinked a few times, then looked at Goku with half-lidded eyes. You've got to stop doing that while I'm talking. Goku chuckled nervously as he scratched the back of his head. Sorry about that. Caulifla let go of Goku's hand and flexed her own. She then started hopping on one foot to the other. Whoa. I feel so light. That's what happens when you train on King Kai's planet long enough. Experiencing 10 times the gravity of Earth makes you feel pretty light-footed when you come back to the planet. If you think you feel light now, you should have felt 100 times Earth's gravity. How did you train with that? Bulma has a gravity chamber. Though, it's now technically Vegeta's, so you can only use it if he lets you. TCH. So Kaba gets to train in any gravity he wants now, huh? Yeah. But we at least have King Kai's planet, so no worries. Caulifla sighed. Whatever you say. Hey, Dad. Goku looked down. Hey, Goten, he said as he ruffled his son's hair, making him laugh. Hey, Dad. Who's that pretty lady? Pretty? Caulifla asked with a raised eyebrow. Her? She's my student. Your student? Yeah. I'm teaching her some of my techniques so we can fight one day. I seriously excited. We already fought once in a tournament and she was one of my toughest opponents and she was just an amateur at Super Saiyan. She didn't even know how to go Super Saiyan 2 before she met me and learned it just with a simple explanation from me. Whoa. She sounds amazing. Doesn't she? I plan on teaching her instant transmission, the Kaioken, Spirit Bomb, and Super Saiyan 3. After she's done with all that, I'm gonna help her obtain Super Saiyan God and then help her become a Super Saiyan Blue. Dad. Yeah? What's a Kaio whatever? Oh. Right. You don't know much about it. I think you've only seen it when I fought it. Oh. That move that made you all pretty red and blue? Well, I actually combined it with Super Saiyan Blue, but basically, yeah. You were awesome. Goku chuckled when he said that. So, you're gonna teach the pretty lady that too? Caulifla cleared her throat, getting the attention of the two male Saiyans. If you two are done praising me, didn't your kid say something about dinner? Oh, right, the two said at the same time. Well, let's go, Goku said as he started to float. Goten and Caulifla followed Goku's lead. The three then flew to Goku's house. So you live near a mountain? Yup. It's Mount Paozu. I was raised here by my grandpa Gohan. That's my house there. Caulifla looked. At the base of the mountain. It's kinda small. Really? I think it's pretty big. Not as big as Bulma's house, of course, but big enough. It was built by Chi-Chi's dad, the Ox King. King? You're married to a princess. Oh? Yeah. I guess I am. The three then landed in front of the door. Goku knocked first, before opening the door. Chi-Chi, we're home. Goku? It's about time. I was getting worried about Go. Chi-Chi was stunned the moment she saw Caulifla. 10. A few moments awkwardly passed as Chi-Chi stared at Caulifla. Yo, Caulifla said with a casual wave. Goku? Who is that? Her? She's Caulifla. My new student. Why or what? I'm training her. Train. Goku. What have you done all day? Goku took a moment to think. Well, the first thing I did after breakfast was go to see if Vegeta would spar with me. We then went to the canyon we first fought at to spar and did that for a few hours. Then, Betos showed up, bringing Caulifla, Kale, and Kaba. Wait, who? They're Caulifla's friends. Vegeta is training Kaba, while Piccolo is training Kale, while she helps him babysit Pan. You let a complete stranger babysit our granddaughter. What are you talking about? Piccolo isn't a stranger. I'm talking about this Kale character. Oh, her? It's fine. She's a great babysitter. You should have seen her, Chi-Chi. She got Pan to stop crying by singing her a nice lullaby and tucked her in. Pan's in great hands. Chi-Chi was dumbfounded before she sighed. I thought it was bad enough that Piccolo was being a better grandfather than you. Now it seems like some random girl is taking my role as Pan's grandmother. Anyway, after convincing Piccolo to train Kale, I took Caulifla to King Kai's to begin her training. Goku then did something that Chi-Chi didn't like. He placed his hand on Caulifla's shoulder and brought her closer to him. She was awesome. She completed King Kai's first training challenges in just 3 hours. It took me 3 weeks to just finish the first one. Caulifla's an absolute genius. Ha! Damn right I am, Caulifla said with pride. I can't wait to train with her tomorrow. Chi-Chi was quiet for a bit. So let me get this straight. You spent the entire day training, half of which was with a pretty, young girl. Okay, what is it with everyone calling me pretty? It's getting annoying. Yeah? I guess I have. Why? Then you didn't do any farming today. Goku jumped from Chi-Chi's scream. No. Sorry, Chi-Chi. It slipped my mind. You're a farmer, Caulifla asked. Kinda lame. Goku laughed nervously. You keep your mouth shut, Missy. Caulifla looked at Chi-Chi. Goku needs to farm in order to help provide for us. It's the closest thing to a job he'll ever get. But I bet you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, do you, young lady? Nope. Heh. I knew it. You must rely on your pa. I just let my underlings deal with money, usually Kale. Chi-Chi looked at Caulifla. Huh. I am a gang leader, after all. Chi-Chi's jaw dropped. A GGGGG gang leader. Isn't that what I said? Chi-Chi was stunned. Then, Goku. He jumped at his name being screamed out by his wife. Why yes. Chi-Chi then grabbed him by the collar of his guy and started to shake him. You brought a delinquent to our home, what's more, you're training her. What kind of example are you setting for Goten? For little Pan she then fell to the floor, crying. My husband is an idiot. He doesn't care that our precious kids and grandkids will become delinquents at this point. He actually trains them. He trains delinquents. Why me? Why my family? Caulifla grew a tick mark. Okay, this lady is seriously annoying. It's alright, Caulifla. She looked up at Goku, who had a nervous look on his face. She gets like this at times. She cried like this when she first saw me and Gohan as Super Saiyans. Seriously? Yeah. Caulifla looked at Goku with a raised eyebrow. So how will she react if I do this? She then went Super Saiyan. I knew it. They all looked at the still crying Chi-Chi. She's a delinquent. Whoa. You can go Super Saiyan too, pretty lady. Caulifla looked at Goten. 2. You can do it, kid. Watch. Goten then turned Super Saiyan. Cool, right. Not bad, for a kid. Damn it, Goku. They looked at Chi-Chi again. Look at what you did. You bring a delinquent to our home and now Goten thinks it's cool to be one. Do you ever stop screaming, Granny? Caulifla said as she powered down. Granny. Chi-Chi would have continued yelling if Goku's stomach hadn't growled. Goten's and Caulifla's stomachs growled as well. I'm hungry, all three said. Chi-Chi glared at Caulifla for a while, growling while she did it before storming back into the kitchen. At the very least, she wanted her family to have a decent meal, even with the uninvited guest. Her decent meal turned into a decent show. Goku and Caulifla were stuffing themselves silly. It was basically an eating contest between the two. Chi-Chi hadn't even touched her food since she was too busy staring in shock at how much the two were eating. Goku was no surprise, but she couldn't believe how much Caulifla could eat or how unladylike she was doing it. Goten was watching with fascination until he got an idea. Using his chopsticks, he grabbed a piece of meat and prepared to throw it between his dad and the pretty lady as they ate. He saw the perfect opportunity when he saw the two shoveling rice down their throats and threw the meat. What happened next amazed him and horrified Chi-Chi. The two bit the meat in midair at the same time. Goten thought it was hilarious, but Chi-Chi didn't like how close Caulifla's face was to Goku's. The only reprieve she got was how the two ripped the meat perfectly in half and ate their respective pieces. Though the rest of the meal was relatively normal, Chi-Chi just couldn't get that scene out of her head. It bothered her enough to make her lose her appetite. "Wah. That was good," Caulifla said as she patted her still flat stomach. "See? Didn't I tell you Chi-Chi's cooking was good? Gotta admit, you weren't lying." Caulifla then stood up and stretched, showing off her still flat stomach and a nice figure, which really annoyed Chi-Chi. "So, old man. HM?" Caulifla then smashed a fist into her palm. "Wanna do some after meal sparring? Great way to digest." Goku had his usual excited smile as he basically jumped up. "Would I? Only, let's just stay in our base forms. Just good old fists and kicks. What do you say? Deal? Let's go," Goku said with a grin. "Oh, you're gonna fight the pretty lady, Dad. Okay, stop calling me that, kid. The name's Caulifla." Goten tilted his head. "Cauliflower. Caulifla." Goten nodded his head. "Yeah. Cauliflower. No. Caulifla. Cauliflower." Caulifla groaned. "Repeat after me, Lee. Florida. Florida. Now say it. Cauliflower." Caulifla grew a tick mark as she clenched a now shaking fist. "Why you little dot, you're lucky I'm about to fight your dad, or else I would deck you. On that note, old man, let's go kick each other's asses." "Sure. Don't use such language around my little Goten," Chi-Chi roared. Yeah. Whatever, Granny," Caulifla said, waving, as she walked out the door with Goku. Chi-Chi glared and growled the whole time as they walked out together. "I really don't like that girl," Chi-Chi thought. Hours later, when the moon was at its highest, Goku and Caulifla came back inside, both beaten up but also smiling and laughing. "Now that was a fight," Caulifla said. "Yeah? You were even more amazing than in the tournament." "Of course. What, did you expect me to get weaker?" Caulifla then examined her body. "Aw, I'm all sweaty and covered in dirt." "Oh, no worries. I'll just get the barrel." "Barrel? That's how you take your baths?" Caulifla asked with a snicker. "Yeah. It's kinda nice." Caulifla had to suppress a laugh. "You know what, why not? The old ways ain't that bad every once in a while." "Great, and don't worry, it's big enough for both of us, so let's take a bath together." Caulifla looked at Goku with blank, half-lidded eyes. "Huh? Absolutely not." Goku jumped while Caulifla just looked towards the fire-eyed Chi-Chi. "How dare you, a married man, ask an unmarried woman to bathe with you? Huh? What does marriage have to do with bathing? Bulma and I bathed together when we were kids. But you were children. You're a grown man now, Son Goku." "You know," Caulifla started. "I honestly don't care. I was just caught off guard at how easily he can suggest it." "You be quiet. You're not bathing together." "Got it. Alright. Sheesh. Do you do anything besides yelling?" Caulifla's question made Chi-Chi's fighting aura flare up. "This bitch is worse than Krillin's ex-girlfriend, Marin." Goku laughed nervously before he turned towards Caulifla. "Well, you can use it first, Caulifla." "HM? Oh, thanks. I'll go now." "Where's the barrel?" "Outside. There's a river not too far from here." "Thanks. I'll fill it up and bring some wood." "Oh, don't worry. We've got plenty of firewood." "Good to know. Later." With that, Caulifla walked out of the house with Chi-Chi glaring at her the entire time as she left. After both Saiyans took their bath, with Goku sharing the water with Goten, it was time to go to bed. "Sorry we don't have a guest room, Caulifla," Goku said while scratching the back of his head nervously. "Hey, it's fine. I'll just crash on the couch," she said as she actually got comfortable on it. "Night, old man." "Yeah. Good night. We'll be getting up bright and early tomorrow to continue our training," Goku said excitedly. Caulifla chuckled. "Looking forward to it." "Goku?" Goku jumped as he looked at Chi-Chi. "Don't you dare forget about farming." Oh, right. Sorry, Chi-Chi. I'll do it after training." "No. You'll do it before." "Got it." "Why yeah. Sure." Caulifla was looking at them with one eye opened, not impressed by what she saw. She then closed her eyes as she tried to get comfortable. It's obvious to see who wears the pants in this crappy relationship. "Crappy?" Chi-Chi yelled as she looked at Caulifla with actual fire in her eyes. "How dare you say that? Goku and I are happily in love." "Keep telling yourself that, Granny." Chi-Chi practically snarled at Caulifla before storming off to her room with Goku. When the couple was in their room, preparing for bed, Chi-Chi turned towards her husband. "Goku, how long is that woman going to be here?" Goku didn't notice the venom in Chi-Chi's voice. I honestly don't know. She came to train with me, hoping to learn Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan Blue. It took me a while to reach 3, but Caulifla's practically a genius. She'll have that form mastered in just a few days. She'll be a Super Saiyan god before you know it. Good, Chi-Chi said as she got under the covers, back turned towards Goku. The sooner she finishes her stupid training, the faster she can leave our family alone, Chi-Chi mumbled under her breath. Well, night Chi-Chi, Goku said as he got under the covers and fell asleep nearly instantly. Chi-Chi was awake for a while, thinking about what Caulifla said. It's obvious to see who wears the pants in this crappy relationship. Chi-Chi tightened her grip on the sheet. Our relationship is not crappy. She then turned to look at the sleeping Goku before turning back. We're happily married. Chi-Chi then closed her eyes, trying to go to sleep. Happily married. That was her last thought before going to sleep. As Caulifla was sleeping, a thought came to her, wonder how the other two are doing with their training. Whatever. Meanwhile, with Kale. Pan. Please, slow down, Videl yelled as she flew after her laughing, flying daughter. The baby was laughing as she flew circles around her mother before flying away. She didn't notice how her father appeared before her. Gotcha, Gohan said excitedly as he prepared to catch the adorable baby. But then, she flew around him in the blink of an eye. Whoa. She's fast. I got her, Piccolo said as he stretched his arm. However, Pan kept flying away from his grasp. She was even able to fly in a way that tied Piccolo's arm in a knot. Wow. Pan was laughing happily before she flew into something soft. She then felt a kind embrace and looked up in curiosity to see a smiling Kale. I caught me a cutie, she said as she scratched Pan's chin, making the baby laugh. Phew. Thank you, Kale, Videl said as she flew up towards the Saiyan. Kale giggled. It's no problem. She's quite the handful, isn't she? Videl laughed. Don't I know it? Videl then lifted Pan and smiled. You shouldn't cause so much trouble for the grown-ups, Pan. Pan laughed adorably. Mama. Here I am, Videl said as she playfully spun the laughing baby. Kale giggled at the sight. Well, Piccolo, and I better get going. That's right, Piccolo said as he flew up next to Kale after getting his arm untied. It's gotten later than I had hoped and I need to begin her training. Alright. I understand, Videl said with a smile as she brought Pan to her chest. Gohan flew up next to his wife and placed a hand on her shoulder. Trust me, Kale. You're in good hands. With a smile, Kale followed Piccolo, who had already begun to fly away. Kale. You're welcome to stay with us as long as you're here, Videl called out. The offer stands for you too, Piccolo, Gohan called. Piccolo just kept on flying, while Kale actually turned towards them and waved as she flew off with the Namekian. The couple smiled as their friends flew away, with Pan giggling as she waved. Then, Pico. Ka. The couple looked down at their daughter in surprise. Pico. Ka. Did she just try to? Gohan started. Videl smiled. Guess that shows just how much she likes them. Or how much we say their names, Gohan joked. The two had a light laugh at the little joke. Meanwhile, with Kaba. Kaba fell on his back after receiving a punch from Vegeta. Come on, boy, Vegeta said sternly with his arms crossed. Are you not my student? You will not be allowed to fall at a mere 100 times gravity. Kaba groaned as he stood back up and got into his master's favorite fighting stance. Of course, master. HMPH. Good. You can still stand and are able to take that stance perfectly. You must always take that stance with pride, for only the Saiyan elites may use it. By the time I'm done with you, 300 times Earth's gravity will feel no different from Earth to you. Understood? I will not let you down, master. Vegeta's expression did not change. He then got into the famous stance himself. You still have a long way to go, but when your training is done, you will be the greatest Saiyan of your universe. I don't care what kind of training he's giving her. When I'm done with you, you will far surpass Kakarot's student. Kaba's eyes widened. Surpass Caulifla. At that moment, Caulifla's back appeared in Kaba's mind. The beautiful Saiyan turned her head, showing her usual scowl before it turned into a challenging smirk. That thought alone fired up Kaba enough for him to go Super Saiyan out of pure instinct. I'm in your care, Master Vegeta. Vegeta's eyes widened in surprise, before he himself smirked. He then turned Super Saiyan and charged at his young student. The fists of the master and student clashed, shaking the entire chamber. They trained all night, not even taking a tiny break, gradually increasing the gravity as time went on. Meanwhile, on King Kai's planet. Well, it actually looked pretty peaceful. The clouds were the same. The planet looked fine. In fact, there was no one in sight. Then two fists collided. Goku and Caulifla were sparring in their base forms, their attacks a blur. Gotcha, Caulifla yelled out in excitement as it looked like she would land first blood. But her fist passed right through the grinning Goku. An after-image, he yelled behind her as he prepared to kick her. Had he been in front of her, he would have seen her smile. He was surprised when he saw his leg pass right through her. No way. Did she? That's right, old man. I learned your trick, Caulifla yelled as she prepared to punch him from the side. However, Goku caught her fist and smirked at her. Caulifla, you're beyond amazing. You're damned right, she said with a smirk. The two then proceeded to fight once more. They kept disappearing and reappearing in different parts of the planet as they fought. They were actually going fast enough to leave after-images of their fight, making it look as if they cloned themselves. Then, Goku jumped away. Solar flare. Caulifla was unfortunate enough to look right into it. Ah. Damn it. What the hell was that? It's called solar flare. It's a move from my friend, Tien. Who was that? Caulifla asked as she rubbed her eyes. He was in the tournament of power. He was the serious-looking guy with 3 eyes. Oh. Geez, that move hurts the eyes. That's the point. It's a defensive move. Tien invented it for 3 different uses. To gain the upper hand in a fight by temporarily blinding your opponent, make a quick getaway, or to set up a complicated or powerful attack without being interrupted. It's really useful, but can only be used most effectively once since it will alert your enemy. Sounds pretty useful, Caulifla said as she rubbed one eye. It is, and it's really easy to learn. Looks easy, Caulifla said, her eyesight back to normal. It looks like all you need to do is place your hands near your face like this and yell out solar flare. When Caulifla did the gesture perfectly and yelled out the name, she blinded Goku enough to make him yell out in anguish. Wow, it is easy. Heh, payback, bitch. Goku groaned. Just how amazing are you? Hey, you yourself said it was easy. Yeah, I did, Goku said as he almost completely recovered. Hey, speaking of techniques. That move you used to beat me and Kale when we were Kefla, I mean what was that? The Kamehameha? Yeah. That. I think I'd like to learn it. Goku grinned. It's the signature technique of the Turtle School. Turtle? Caulifla asked raised eyebrow. Yeah. Master Roshi is the Turtle Hermit after all. He was the one who created it. All of my friends who have trained under him know how to use it, and so do my sons. It's an awesome technique that's easy to learn and actually grows in strength alongside you. Showing it to you would be much easier than explaining. Goku then turned towards the sky. He kept looking up before taking the pose. Kamehame Caulifla examined every part of Goku, watching as the energy began to form in his cupped hands. Hiya. He then fired the famous technique. Caulifla was amazed. She couldn't see where the beam ended. It just kept going as far as the eye could see. When it was gone, Goku smiled at his student. So, what do you think? Caulifla was quiet for a bit. I think I've got it. Goku didn't say anything. He just watched with a smile as she walked up next to him and got into position. She was quiet for a bit. Kamehame the energy then began to form in her hands. Her blast went as far as Goku's and looked just as powerful. It almost lasted as long as well. It was maybe a minute less than Goku's. Whoa. Caulifla looked at her hands. That was a rush. My crush cannon's got nothing on this. And like I said, it gets stronger alongside you. The more Kai you have, the more powerful it can become. Did you see Master Roshi at all during the tournament? Yeah. He was a bald old man with sunglasses and a beard. And he took down the strongest Universe 4 fighter by himself with the most powerful Kamehameha I've ever seen. Goku looked at his hand. It shows that I still have a ways to go. If Master Roshi can produce a Kamehameha that powerful, then it's my duty as his student to surpass even that. Caulifla looked at Goku before smirking. Then you know what that means, right? Caulifla pointed at Goku. Since you're my teacher, I have to make a Kamehameha that'll easily blow you away. So look forward to it. Goku had a giant and excited smile. Oh, I will. Man, I'm glad I have you as a student. You always seem to find a way to fire me up. I thought only Vegeta and Gohan were able to get me this excited, but you're on a totally different level. I'm seriously glad I met you, Caulifla. Caulifla looked at Goku's genuine smile and blushed a bit. Yeah, she said while looking away. Geez. Laying it a bit, don't you think, old man, she thought. Well, if you're so glad you met me, then let's do something else. What? You said the Kamehameha gets stronger alongside you, right? Caulifla then looked right into Goku's eyes with a strong expression. I want to test mine against yours. Goku blinked a few times before a smile appeared. Alright. Let's go, he said as he got into position. Wait. The two Saiyans looked to see King Kai run out of his house. You can't do that here. I know how much devastating power a clash between Kamehamehas can have. My planet won't be able to take it. Oh, yeah? I guess not. So, Caulifla, let's take to the sky. Alright. The two then flew up as high as they thought necessary. Alright, I'm going all out. With that, Caulifla turned Super Saiyan 2. Heh. Alright. Let's see how strong your Kamehameha is. With that, Goku turned Super Saiyan 2 as well and got into the position. Caulifla got into the position as well. She continued where Goku left off. He smirked. Ha. Me. The two stared at each other, their Kamehamehas ready. Then. Hiya. The beams clashed. It caused a powerful wind that sent King Kai, Gregory, and Bubbles rolling to the other side of the planet. The Saiyans struggled against one another, looking evenly matched. Then, Goku's Kamehameha started to push back Caulifla's. It was getting dangerously close by the second. Then, Caulifla did the smart thing. She ducked. By bending backward, she completely avoided the powerful beam. She could feel its awesome intensity as it went past her. She couldn't help but feel a rush of excitement as it blasted past her. She flew back down to the planet to be able to get a better view. She was able to follow the beam before it disappeared, showing its awesome power. So that power is mine now. She looked at her palm. I wonder if I can combine it with my crush cannon. You probably can. Caulifla looked behind her to see Goku walk up to her. There are a lot of different variations of Kamehameha. My son once did it with only one hand when he fought a powerful enemy named Cell. One hand, huh? Caulifla looked at her own hand. I wonder. Caulifla walked away from Goku and looked towards the sky. She then got into the pose with only one hand. Crushing red energy appeared in her hand. Kamehameha. When she yelled that, 5 Kamehameha beams surrounded by a red energy shot out of her hand in different directions. It lasted for a good few minutes. Nice. Whoa. You made a new variation in just a minute. I don't know how many times I've said it or how many more times I'll say it, but you're awesome. And I'll say the same thing just as many times. Damn right, I am. Now, there's one other move you need to show me before you teach me Super Saiyan 3. What? Hours later. In a canyon, Kale was sitting in lotus position with Piccolo standing behind her. Concentrate. Clear your mind of all distractions that may cause you stress. Allow your body to be at peace before you have full control. Sir, she said quietly before she took a deep breath. Now, envision your goal. Kale did as she was told. She remembered how she was when she first controlled her Super Saiyan powers. Then, her eyes popped open. I can do it. Then do it. Stand up and unleash your hidden power. Kale stood up and took another deep breath. Then, you are. After that quick yell, she transformed. Whoa. I've seen every Super Saiyan in this universe and none of them compare to you. I'm pretty sure you're as strong as Super Saiyan 2, maybe 3. You really mean that? Kale asked in excitement. Piccolo nodded. I bet even Caulifla with Goku's training will have a hard time with you. But I don't want to. Sounds about right to me, Mr. Nanny. Piccolo and Kale looked to their side in surprise. There Caulifla was, sitting on the edge of a plateau, smiling. I would actually like going a few rounds with you, Kale. But sis. Caulifla raised her hand. I want to see how far the both of us have gone in our training. A good spar is the only way to find out. Besides, I doubt Kaba will be as much of a challenge as you will be. You're my protege, after all. You've made me proud plenty of times, so I'm sure you'll make me feel honored in our fight. Kale's eyes widened. Sis. That's stronger, Kale. Strong enough to give me one hell of a fight. Caulifla then placed her fingers on her head in a pose that Piccolo immediately recognized. Until then. Later. With that, she teleported. Well, what was that? Instant transmission. It's a technique that Goku picked up on an alien planet after his fight with Frieza. He said it took him nearly a year to learn it. It's one of the main reasons he's the only one who knows it. Then again, no one really wanted to ask him to teach it either, not even me. Still, I can't believe he taught Caulifla that technique. How much is he teaching her? Is he planning on what? I might be overthinking things. Knowing him, he's just teaching Caulifla his skills to prepare her for a fight. A fight? Against who? Against him. He wants to fight sis. Of course. Caulifla was one of the warriors that caught his interest during the tournament. You were with Caulifla when they fought. Didn't Goku say anything? Well, he did say that we should fight again after the tournament. And there it is. He saw a chance to make Caulifla stronger, which means he saw the chance to fight a strong opponent. No way he would pass that chance up. He's preparing Caulifla for what he believes will be an amazing fight, and considering how talented she seems to be, I'm more than positive he'll get it with her. Kale looked at Piccolo for a while, before smiling. Yeah. sis is really amazing. You're pretty impressive yourself. Hale said as she looked at Piccolo with wide eyes. I'm sure Goku will ask you for a fight once he sees the fruits of your training. It's how he is. I see. Well then, let's continue. We need to make sure you can do this at any time. Goku and Gohan were once able to stay in Super Saiyan for so long, you'd think it was their base form. Really? Yes. If we continue your training, you should be able to do something similar. You'd be able to transform without even trying. Who knows? You might even be able to control that other form. Other forms? Oh. You mean the Berserk form? Is that what you call it? Sis said I couldn't even recognize even her and that I attacked everything in sight. I can only call that going Berserk. I see. Well, when we're done, that Berserk form will be yours to control and all the power that comes with it. It may technically be weaker than what you call your controlled form, but it's best to have all of your powers under your command. Hale nodded her head. Understood. Good. Now, power down. We need to start from the very bottom. Understood, sir. With that, Kale reverted back to her base form to continue Piccolo's training program. Back on King Kai's planet, Goku was laying down, looking up at the sky. He just kept staring at the clouds, looking deep in thought. Something the matter, Goku? Goku looked up to see King Kai, before looking back at the sky. You know, I honestly have no idea how many times I've said it. Said what? That Caulifla amazing. You have said that many times already. She is quite impressive. Impressive? That's an understatement. She's been able to figure out techniques that took me an actual year to learn in a matter of hours. Beerus called me a rare genius, but I think Caulifla beyond even that. I'm running out of things to teach her. Pretty soon, she'll know all of my moves and blow me out of the water. You sound worried. More like excited. I have a goal again, King Kai. Caulifla is showing me just how much stronger I need to get. Goku then sat up. If I stay at my current level, Caulifla will fly past me in no time and she won't want to train with me anymore. I don't want that to happen. I need to get stronger so I can continue to be a challenge for her. Everyone needs a goal and I want to be hers. In other words, you don't want her to leave you. Exactly. Goku, do you realize the meaning behind those words? Meaning? Goku asked as he looked at King Kai. What do you mean meaning? I don't want her to get bored of me and leave me to find a greater challenge. I think we can help each other grow and become even better than we already are. King Kai was quiet. You honestly don't see the deeper meaning hidden in your words. There's a deeper meaning. Of course. Haven't you ever had these thoughts with your wife? Of course not. Why would I? Wah. Chi-Chi doesn't fight anymore. I've never once seen her train. She doesn't even like it when Goten wants to train. A real shame. I bet he could have been a great fighter. Oh, well. I've got Caulifla now well for now, and I plan on using all the time I've got with her to the fullest. King Kai's eyebrow twitched. Goku. Yeah? Between your wife and your student, who do you prefer spending time with the most? Caulifla. King Kai had the same face he makes when Goku didn't laugh at his jokes. Didn't even hesitate. King Kai sighed. This could spell trouble for you, my boy. How so? Oh, I'm sure you'll find out one day. Where is your little protege anyway? She's trying out the instant transmission. I don't know where she is now. I could always try to locate her energy, but I thought it would be best to let her be and let her have her fun. She'll be back in a little while. Though, I am a bit curious about where she is now, Goku said as he laid back down. In the gravity chamber, Vegeta and Cabba were sparring in their Super Saiyan 2 forms. The gravity was at 400 GS, but neither Saiyan felt it. They were busy fighting. Each attack was a blur. The two were fighting hard enough to shake the chamber itself. Then, they both jumped away and prepared a Gallic gun. When they were both charged, they fired the powerful beams. Their clash was evenly matched. In fact, they cancelled each other out. Both just stared at one another as they remained in the stance. Then, Vegeta smirked before standing back up, with Cabba following his lead. Well done, boy. You've proven yourself as a true Saiyan elite. Thank you, master. I'll admit, you looked pretty cool. Cabba turned and bowed. Thank you for the compliment, Caulifla. Wait a minute. Cabba looked up to see a Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla leaning up against a wall with a smile. Yo, she said while raising her fingers. What? What are you doing here? You should be training with Kakarot, Vegeta yelled. Lighten up. I'm just taking a small break and taking a new move he taught me for a test drive. Caulifla then got off the wall. Still, this is pretty damn awesome. I had to go Super Saiyan 2 the moment I got in here to be able to move. I'm almost jealous of you, Cabba. This is a pretty good place to train. Though, I do like where I'm being trained at. And where is that? Cabba asked. At a small planet belonging to a blue guy named King Kai. The old man took me there when we first got here and taught me all kinds of different techniques there. I even learned that signature move of his and made my own version of it. His signature move, Kaba asked. You mean that technique that resembles my Gallic gun? Vegeta asked with his arms crossed. Yup. His Kamehameha. Beats the hell out of my old crush cannon. He also taught me a lot of other awesome moves. Like what? Kaba asked. Oh, you'll find out when we spar. When we what? Oh, don't ask so surprised, Kaba. Of course, I'd want to try out my new moves. I'm planning on fighting Kale, too. I just went to see her and I gotta say you've got some catching up to do. That glorified nanny is actually doing a great job at training her. Glorified nanny? Kaba asked with a raised eyebrow. The Namekian. Piccolo. The green guy. Anyway, thanks to whatever training he's been giving her, she can pretty much go into her Super Saiyan form whenever she wants now. When I felt it, I could tell she was stronger than you are now. So, I suggest you have Pops there train you like crazy, unless you want to be left behind by me and my protege. Good luck. You're gonna need it. She then placed 2 fingers on her forehead. Later. With that, she disappeared. HMPH. So Kakarot taught her that yard rat technique. At least we now know how she got in here. Master. HM. Is 400 the highest this machine can go? Kaba then looked at Vegeta with determined eyes. Is it able to go higher? Vegeta looked into his student's eyes. HMPH. Of course, it can go higher. Vegeta then walked over to the computer and powered down. Revert back to your base form. There is no use in being in your Super Saiyan form once we go up to 500. It will have no effect and your body will not adjust as quickly as it can. Understood? Kaba then powered down. Let me say this. Admittedly, this is the first time ever I have set the chamber to 500. It might very well be the hardest part of your training. However, I will be damned before I allow my student to be surpassed by Kakarots, let alone the Namekians. You will be the strongest Saiyan. After all, you are an elite. Kaba's eyes widened at his master's praise. He then got serious. Of course. I need to be since I'm being trained by the Prince of all Saiyans himself. Well spoken, boy. With that, Vegeta adjusted the gravity. Kaba stumbled a bit, taken a bit off guard by the gravity. Now, let's continue the training. Kaba looked up and was awestruck. Master is amazing. He said that it's his first time at 500, but he doesn't look affected at all. Kaba's eyes became sharp again as he got into the stance. I must not shame him. Vegeta also got into the stance. With that, the two continued their training. Goku actually fell asleep while waiting for Caulifla. He was honestly comfortable. It shows just how used to King Kai's planet he really was. Well, you look comfy. Goku slowly and lazily opened his eyes to the voice. He looked up to see who disturbed his sleep. HM? Oh. Caulifla. You're back. You sound like you missed me. I did. Caulifla jumped a bit with a light blush. I was only gone for an hour, at least. Well, I still missed you. I like being around you. You're really fun to be around. Caulifla's blush got a bit darker. She then heard someone spit take and coughed. She looked behind her to see King Kai with a glass of juice, sitting at a table. Seriously, Goku? Word choice. What do you mean? Forget it what he means, Caulifla said. Okay. Goku then jumped back up. So, you want to train some more? Of course. I want to try out all of my new moves. So, let's end today with a full-out fight, Caulifla yelled excitedly as jumped away and got into her stance. Alright, Goku yelled equally excited as he also jumped away. The two stared at each other before Caulifla yelled and charged. Goku blocked her first punch. After that, the two began a barrage of attacks, gradually rising by quickly ascending into the clouds. After a while, Goku kicked Caulifla hard enough to send her flying, making him chase after her. Before Goku got close enough, he saw Caulifla smirk. Crush cannon. Goku dodged all of the blasts, save for one. He destroyed the last one with a Kai blast, creating smoke. He cleared it with a swing of his palm, but didn't see Caulifla anywhere. However, he did hear energy being charged. He looked down to see Caulifla charging her next attack. Kamehameha. It looked as if Goku took the direct hit, but Caulifla knew better. When the beam was gone and she saw no one there, she knew she was right. It became even more evident when Goku appeared right next to her, about to punch her in the face. His fist phased right through her. Caulifla appeared above him, flying down with a dropkick. However, she attacked phase through him this time. She then shot a Kai blast behind her, which Goku deflected. The two then engaged in another clash of attacks. They then disappeared and repeated the same moves they used against each other when they first fought in the tournament. Then, Caulifla landed a solid hit on Goku, winding him. She saw the perfect opportunity. Solar flare. The bright light blinded Goku, making her yell out in surprise. By the time Goku began to regain his sight, he saw Caulifla gathering energy in her right palm. Crushing Kamehameha. Goku saw the 5 beams shoot at him, but was still too delirious to dodge. All 5 beams hit him, sending him rocketing into the clouds. Caulifla used instant transmission to appear behind him and kicked him at what she thought was the right moment. She didn't expect Goku to grab her ankle and spin her around. He threw her hard enough to make it hard for her to regain her balance. As soon as she did, she received a gut punch from her mentor. However, she gave him her own gut punch. The two then went back to their clash of fists and kicks. As they fought, they both subconsciously went to Super Saiyan. The two then flew away from each other and charged. Each clash shook the air around them and blew away the clouds. Even King Kai's planet was shaking. King Kai was trying to stop himself from falling while standing on one foot. Goku and Caulifla's next clash made him fall. After their next clash, the two subconsciously went up to Super Saiyan 2. Both were having way too much of a blast to realize this. Their fight became so intense that they left after images of themselves as they fought. They were going at it so intensely that they left behind a total of 10 after images. They then punched each other in the face so hard it blew away all the other after images before being sent flying away from each other. After they both regained their balance, they prepared a Kamehameha and fired with a roar. The clash was powerful enough to shake the other world all the way to King Yama's palace. The beam clash then exploded in a blue light, but that didn't stop either of the two Saiyans. Instead, they charged at each other through the light, fists at the ready. Then, the two clashed, their fists enveloping both fighters in a golden light. When the light was gone, Caulifla received an awesome sight. Wow. So you went Super Saiyan 3 during our fight. Guess I should feel proud I pushed you so far. Goku looked at Caulifla with serious eyes before smiling and taking his fist away from Caulifla's. That's not the only thing you should be proud of. After all, you've reached Super Saiyan 3 yourself. What? Caulifla then realized it. She really was a Super Saiyan 3. Whoa. I did it. She examined her own body. I feel so much power. The first and second form has got nothing on this. Still, it feels like my power is being drained. That's because it is. Caulifla looked up at Goku. It's true that Super Saiyan 3 is far more powerful than 2, but it doesn't revitalize you like the other forms. Instead, it actually devours your energy. However, your speed, strength, and endurance are all pushed far beyond the normal limits of your body. If you had problems with an enemy at Super Saiyan 2, 3 would easily beat that opponent. This form is basically a double-edged sword. It's best to use it sparingly or sporadically. But the payoff is well worth it. I'll say. This strength is awesome. Say, how about we spar for as long as we can in this form? I want to get used to it before I collapse from fatigue. That'll probably be a few minutes. Goku then powered up and got into his stance. But that should be more than enough time. Caulifla powered up and got into her own stance. Glad to hear it. Chi-Chi was cooking dinner while Goten was studying at the table, yawning. Goten, are you studying properly? Yes, Mom. I'm in the 10th chapter. Good boy. I want you to get a good grade on your next test. I know, Mom. The sound of the door opening was heard. I'm home, said a very weary voice. Oh, Dad, Goten said excitedly as he got up from the table. Chi-Chi stopped cooking to greet her husband. She was drying her hands as she walked to the living room. Welcome home, Go, oh my god. Hey, Chi-Chi, said a beaten-up Goku being held up by a beaten-up Caulifla. What happened to you? Oh, you know. A good training session. Chi-Chi stared at her husband in shock. Are you okay, Cauliflower? You look as bad as my dad. Heh. I'm better than okay, kid. I beat your dad in a fight. I just hit the ground a second sooner than you did. Which means I won by a second, Caulifla said with a proud smile. There it is. When she said that, she fell forward. Chi-Chi and Goten closed their eyes when the two Saiyans crashed to the floor. When they opened their eyes, Goten laughed at the sight. Chi-Chi did not. She didn't think what she saw was funny at all. There her husband was, lying on the ground with his arm around another woman. I am seriously tired, Caulifla struggled to say. I am seriously starving. Chi-Chi, is dinner ready yet? Chi-Chi clenched her hand tightly. Yes, Goku, she said through clenched teeth. It is. Great, he said tiredly, not noticing the anger in Chi-Chi's voice at all. Hey, Goten, can you help Caulifla and your dad get to the table? I don't think either of us can move. Speak for yourself, old man. A few moments passed. Not even move my pinky. Goku laughed tiredly. See? So, Goten? Can you help us? Sure, Dad. The first person Goten obviously dragged was his dad. He helped the tired and beat up Saiyan to his seat. He then went over and dragged Caulifla. He helped the tired and beat up Saiyan sit in the seat next to his dad and across from him. There you go. Thanks, Goten, Goku said with a tired laugh. Anytime. So, Cauliflower, you really beat my dad. And it felt good doing it. Wow. You're incredible. Tell me something I don't know, kid. You and my dad look like Gohan and Videl when you walked in. Chi-Chi froze when she heard her son say that. Videl? Caulifla looked at Goku. Isn't that the name of your son's wife? Yeah. She looked back at Goten. Why did you say that to me and your old man looked like your brother and his wife? Because you and dad looked all lovey-dovey together like Gohan and Videl. Caulifla blushed. What? What the hell are you talking about? What? You looked as happy together as Gohan and Videl did. Now that I think of it, I can't remember ever seeing mom and dad looking like that. Caulifla was struggling to talk while Chi-Chi looked like she was struggling just to stand. Wait. Cauliflower. Do you like my dad? What? What are you saying? Of course she likes me, Goten. Caulifla looked at Goku with a shocked and embarrassed expression. Why else would she want to train with me? She considers me a good friend. Who better to train with than a friend? Oh? Is that how you like my dad? Yes. That's exactly it. Yup. Like him as a friend, Caulifla said quickly and loudly as she laughed nervously before slumping back into her chair and letting her face fall in her hands as she let out a tired sigh. What the hell is with this kid, Caulifla thought. Goten? Everyone looked to see Chi-Chi, her eyes closed, eyebrows twitching, and a tick mark on her forehead. It's time to eat, she struggled to say. Yay, I'm starving, Goku said tiredly. When Chi-Chi put the food on the table, both Saiyans immediately dug in. However, oddly enough, neither were eating as ferociously as usual. They were still eating like they were in an eating contest, but they were more tame than usual. Chi-Chi just sighed as she began to eat. So, Goku, are you and Caulifla going to spar after your dinner again? She asked as she sipped her green tea. Neither Saiyan noticed the venom in Chi-Chi's voice when she said Caulifla's name. Not tonight, they both said in unison. Chi-Chi spat out her tea while Goten stopped eating. Goten blinked a few times before looking at his dad. Wow. Really, Dad? You're not going to fight? Goku chuckled. My last fight with Caulifla drained me completely. I can't even go Super Saiyan at this point. I'm willing to bet you can beat me blindfolded and with one arm tied as I am now. Wow. Really, that sounds like fun. Goku laughed as he ruffled Goten's hair. That's my boy. But don't worry. I'll be up in fighting condition tomorrow. And I'll be ready to beat you again, old man. I'm planning on making a winning streak, Caulifla said with a challenging smirk. Goku smirked back. Sorry to disappoint you, Caulifla, but I'm winning the next round. You can bet on that. Bring it on. Ahem. Everyone looked at Chi-Chi. Let's get back to eating, so we can all go to bed. Yeah. Okay, Goku said. No arguments here, Caulifla said. Okay, Mom, Goten finished. With that, the family plus guest finished eating their dinner. After a while, everyone was getting ready for bed. Chi-Chi was the last one to get into bed. Goku, Goten, and Caulifla were already fast asleep. Chi-Chi wasn't able to go to sleep. She was too deep in thought. Too much, she thought. She then looked back at the sleeping Goku. He's spending way too much time with that woman. He's never spent a whole day with me. All he does is train with himself or with Vegeta, and now he's spending all his time with some random younger. Chi-Chi realized what she just thought and shook her head. No. 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 Stop thinking like that, Chi-Chi. Goku doesn't look at her like that. He wouldn't. She's basically a female Vegeta for him. Someone to train with. He wouldn't leave me for her. No. He loves me too much. Chi-Chi then got into bed, looking at Goku's sleeping face. You love me, Goku, she whispered. Goku just kept on snoring away when she said that. She just looked at Goku one last time before turning away and closing her eyes. He loves me. That was her last thought before closing her eyes. Things are getting interesting, Bubbles, King Kai asked his monkey as he ate some popcorn. Oh, Goku. If only you knew how much trouble you were causing. Still, that Caulifla girl isn't exactly making things easy. Ooh, I do want to know what happens next. Hopefully, it won't damage my planet any more than it already has. Amiki, Kale was in her berserk form, but still meditating. That's good, Kale. Keep your power under control. You commanded. It does not command you. Kale remained quiet. Now open your eyes. It was the moment of truth. Kale slowly opened her eyes. They were not all white. She was totally conscious. She had complete control. I did it, Mr. Piccolo. We're not quite sure yet. You can open your eyes. Now, let's see if you can move. Right. However, before Kale could attempt to stand, the Saiyan and Namekian both felt a tremendous surge of power. It was enough to shock Kale out of her transformation and back to her base form. This power. It feels just like Sis's, only on a completely different level. I recognize this. He did it. He actually did it. Did what? What did Son Goku do? He taught Caulifla how to reach Super Saiyan 3. Kale's eyes widened before she looked up towards the sky. Sis is a Super Saiyan 3 now. I guess there are only 2 levels left for Goku to teach. Oh? You mean red and blue? Exactly. But those aren't our real names. It isn't? What are they then? Oh, I'm sure you'll know one day. But now isn't the time. For now, we need to focus on your training. We can't have Caulifla be out of your reach, now can we? Piccolo asked with a smirk. Of course not, sir, Kale said with determination. Good. Let's put your transformation training on hold. I think you should learn some new techniques that involve Kai control. You seem more like a strategy type fighter, right? I would like to believe I am. Good. There's a specific move I'd like to teach you that could be useful to you. It's one of my personal favorites. I call it the Hellzen Grenade. Vegeta and Cabba were sparring when they sensed it. They both stopped as they instinctively looked up towards the power. Caulifla, Cabba said. So Kakarot did it. He taught his student that Super Saiyan 3 form. Vegeta then walked over to the computer and shut off the gravity. Master, we are leaving the chamber. Why? Because it's time I taught you 2 of some of my most powerful attacks. However, it is far too dangerous to use them in such a small space. We need a more open area. Yes, sir. What are these techniques? Cabba asked as he followed Vegeta out of the chamber and started to fly with him. They are called the Big Bang Attack and the Final Flash. Thanks for watching this video. Part 1 is over. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below and turn on that bell notification. And also check out the playlist that I have created and enjoy. Link is in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.